Happy YouTube Sunday with Whole and Complete You. I've been getting a lot of questions in regards to meditation. So specifically what the questions have been related to is how on earth do you actually meditate? It seems like a foreign concept to a lot of people. So in spite that words do not teach, as we know, I'm going to help give you the words so that you can get the experience, because we know that words do not teach, experience does. So today I thought we'd kind of dig deep into it and figure out how realistically you can put this into your life, without having to change too much in your life for it to seem like an unrealistic goal. So we all know the importance of calming our minds and being able to connect to source during a meditative state. There's a lot of successful people and they attribute a lot of their success to do with the whole meditation side of things. So why would you not want to, right? It quietens our mind and stops the momentum for us so that we're able to get rid of all resistance and be able to receive thought and connect with our source and our inner beings. And you receive thoughts that are not necessarily things you would think of normally, but once you get into that kind of zone, you're able to receive thoughts from your higher being and your source to lead you in the direction. Your inner being always knows what it is that you want. The universe is listening and it's trying to put these things into your life, but often, ourselves and our egos kind of get in the way. So this kind of allows you to hear what it's saying, and how you recognize if it is coming from your ego or coming from your higher self, your inner being, your source, whatever you'd like to call it, is how you feel. So if when you are receiving these thoughts, the thoughts feel good, that's from your inner being. If they feel crappy and they don't feel good, you don't feel good when it's happening, that's from your ego. That's not anything that you want to be listening to. So anything opposite than feeling good when you receive a thought, whether you're understanding and really recognizing that it's from you or your higher being, is strictly how you feel. So pay close attention to how that is. So the type of meditation that I'd like to look into today is, to me, it's the most basic kind there is. It's the easiest to kind of, maybe not the easiest, but it's the one that helps set you on your path for the things that you should be having in your life, because it's connecting you to source. So you hear lots of different meditations. I hear guided meditation where you're listening to something and it's telling you what you should be thinking. The hypnosis type ones where it's saying, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that, and it's going over and over trying to retrain your subconscious to have you feel good about yourself. Not saying any of these are bad. I do suggest all of them. I'm just kind of listing the different types. And then there's like group type meditations, that kind of stuff. But the one in particular that I'm focusing on today is when you are focusing on clearing your mind, calming your mind, having no type of thought during this process. I would say it's definitely one of the most difficult to get into, but it is the one for me that I find gives you the best basis in trying to find your true self and trying to find the path that's going to lead you to the things that you really, really have been asking for. So we are going to get right into it, and I'm going to list some tips and I guess kind of like a mini tutorial about how we get into meditation and things that are going to help you get into that state. So moving right along, we're going to talk about the whole realistic side of meditation. So, we are very busy. We've got kids, maybe you have kids, careers, a house, maybe bills to pay on your rent, on, you've got car payments, you've got relationships, you've got all these responsibilities. So it seems almost impossible that you'd be able to take some time out of your life to just sit there, and you think you're wasting time. I know that was one thing that I struggled with the most at the beginning, was thinking, how do I allot 15 minutes? We'll talk about the timing in a minute, but how do I allot that kind of time into my day when I already feel like I'm so stressed. If you are at that point when you're thinking that, it's even more of a reason that you really should be incorporating it into your life, because it's going to help you to clear your mind and be able to face the rest of the day in a way that you wouldn't have been able to approach it before. So with all these distractions that we have in life, taking those few minutes is so imperative to your overall well-being. We talk about, our physical health, and I really see all these things being pushed about our mental health, but this is part of it. Our mental health and our well-being and our soul and our body and our mind and all of that stuff, it is all connected, and meditation is one of the things that really addresses our mental health state and our well-being and our stress levels and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get right in to number one. So I kind of already said it, but number one is 15-minute time slot. That's all you need is 15 minutes every day. You can do it. You can find somewhere in your day 15 minutes to set aside that you're going to be able to put into your day. So what I like to do is, because I'm always, one of the hardest parts getting into this meditation is just shutting off your mind and not thinking about all the things that on your to-do list that you have to do that day, that evening, the next day, whatever it may be. So what I like to do is I like to set an alarm. I actually just use my phone, and it's got a timer on it, and I set it for 15 minutes. So I know during that time, I'm not thinking of anything to do with, am I going to take too long doing this? Has 15 minutes passed? I don't have to, it's one less stress, I don't have to think anything about that. So set an alarm that gives you that 15 minutes, and you can completely devote your time and yourself to that 15 minutes of meditating and calming your mind. The morning is the easiest time to be able to allow your body to get into this momentum. You haven't set forth on all of the stresses of the day. Well, maybe you have, because you're thinking of all the things that you have to do, but where I was going with that was the thoughts and everybody else's opinions for your day have not entered your surroundings yet. So you haven't, taken on all these stresses and everything else. So if you can, I highly suggest the morning, the first thing. So wake up, sit up, take a deep breath and put yourself into that zone. I highly suggest not laying down for these, because especially in the morning, you're usually quite tired and you're probably just going to fall back asleep. So sitting up is ideal when you are when you're trying to do these meditations. The other kind of times where you can allot this is maybe, a lunch break, or, if you have the type of career where you have 15-minute breaks here or there's your 15-minute breaks, and you're going to feel so refreshed going back in, and you're going to have all these great thoughts coming in your mind that are coming from your higher being that are going to move you on the right path that day. The other time that I like to add, so I try to do 2 a day. So my second one, but I always make sure the first one happens, your morning, is at night before you go to bed. Again, don't lay down for this one, because you're probably tired and you're going to fall asleep if you lay down for it. But it kind of quietens your mind for sleep. It prepares your body for that sleep time. So that's a great time to do it. You can just be sitting in your bed. You got to find that window of opportunity and commit to it. You get to decide the time and commit yourself to that every day. Keep the thought of how your life is going to improve and what it's going to do for you, and things will become so clear that you're going to be able to create your greatest life with guidance from your inner being. So number 2 is specifically related to the timer. So number 1, I was speaking about the 15 minutes, and I did mention setting a timer. But number 2 focuses a little more clearly on the actual timer. So as I mentioned, it gives you that chance to be present in the moment and to concentrate strictly on what's happening during that time. It allows you to shut those worries away, and you're not going to be thinking about the stuff that's going to be happening in the future. So where I'd like to kind of concentrate on this one is when you get to that 15 minutes, if you find that either you didn't get in the zone, or maybe you only were in the zone for like a minute, don't extend it. Any longer than that often will create a bit of a resistance for you. Just leave it be and go ahead and try it next time. And really 15 minutes is all you need. So if you've spent, your 14 minutes just trying to get in the zone and backtracking yourself, getting back there. Okay, wait, no, my thought went here, now I'm back there again. And you only had a minute is fine. A minute is enough. You've connected. And if you haven't connected at all, you can do it again next time. Don't give up. It's a little foreign when you're first doing it to what you're used to. So don't feel discouraged if you've tried for 3 days, a week, a month, and you just feel like you're not connecting, that you're not getting in that zone. You're gonna get there, and just be patient, and all of a sudden it's just gonna happen. You're gonna be like, this is what I've been waiting for. Number 3 is finding a quietish place. The quieter, the better, obviously, but sometimes realistically, and this is what this one's all about, is trying to be realistic and putting this into your life. Sometimes you can't achieve complete silence. I can definitely say that sometimes I can't, and it's okay, because you're still calming your mind. Even if you don't get into that zone, you're sitting, you're quiet, you're still taking the steps and the actions that it takes to get you there. So you could go to your car, these early mornings or late nights when all the rest of your household is asleep. Your bathroom, if you have to escape from, I don't know, if you've got kids or your partner or roommates, your family, if you're living with your family, whatever it may be, you can do it anywhere, and you can create a quietish place somehow. You don't have to have a fancy meditation room or special decorations to put your body in the zone. You can do it whenever you want. I wake up early every day before my kids have awoken, and I get in that zone. I commit to my 15 minutes a day. On the weekends, I allow myself to sleep in an extra hour compared to what I do during the weekend. Sometimes my kids are awake at that time, but I've made a commitment to myself and to that, and I know that it makes me a better parent, a better person, a better sister, a better daughter, a better boss, whatever it may be. So I have committed myself to that. So if my kids are awake when it happens, they've come in, we've had a snuggle, I say, okay, Mama's gonna do her meditation, and they know the drill. They know to pop in their rooms, or going to play with their toys or whatever it may be. And even to further that, let's say your kids are there and they're just feeling like they want to be with you that day. Why don't you mix it up a little bit? Bring them into the meditation with you. Teach them how to do it. We start young with this kind of stuff, and we still the values and what it feels like before the world's got to them about how to calm your mind. It's such an important skill that's overlooked. So why not let them join in, if they happen to be awake during that time. So commit to it. Figure out when it is that you can give yourself that inner peace and that joy for that time. Whatever the obstacle is, you can find a way. There's always a way. There's always an answer. There's never an excuse not to do meditation. You can make it work somehow. I've even had to sorry, I was envisioning that. I've even had my cats where I'm sitting there, doing my meditation like this or whatever, right? And then I feel brushing on my hands, and it's my cats coming in, or the clawing and them trying to get in my hands to pet them. And I say, you know what, now this is my time right now. So I actually tuck my hands in my lap, or I fold my hands together. And you don't even have to have perfect positioning. It's not about, you see the picture of meditation I see is I picture people with their legs crossed, their hands like this, going like this, sitting up straight, tall, their chin up and their eyes closed, and just appreciating the moment. While that is fantastic, and sometimes you will be able to do that, there's going to be times when you're not. There's plenty of times when I'm just sitting there and I'm just in that mode, and I'm in the state. I'm, legs are crossed, legs are straight, hands are sitting by my side, on my lap, wherever it may be. Sometimes I've got hands tucked in because I'm making sure my cats aren't trying to, just get distracted for me to pet them. Whatever it may be, there is no perfect way to meditate. Meditation works how it works for you. So however you need to put it into your life. So find that quietish place and get in the zone there. Number 4 is about the positions, what we kind of touched upon when we were talking about the quietish place. So it's really just, adapting it so that it works for yourself. So maybe you can't cross your legs because you have a knee injury. As I mentioned about the cats, maybe you're tucking your hands in. Whatever seems realistic for you in the time, you can do it different ways, different times. Maybe it's midday and laying down, kind of on the floor is what seems relaxing for you, and you're not going to fall asleep. Whatever it may be, find the position that works for you. It feels comfortable, and make it work. Number 5 is getting in the zone. So you know how to get yourself over in the positions, your quietish place. Now what? What on earth are you supposed to do next, right? So this is where the difficulty of what to do seems to come in, and seems to be where a lot of the questions I'm getting are coming from. So I thought we'd go over a little bit about some tips to kind of get you in the zone. So so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a couple of the ways to help you clear your mind and calm your mind. So one of the ways you can do it is to focus on deep and calm breaths. So like taking deep breaths in. Just taking a deep breath out. So maybe through your nose, in however you'd like to do it is up to you. Breath is everything. Breath is life. Breath is the reason we are living. The very first thing you do when you come out of your mom is you breathe. You take a breath of life. So everything revolves around this breath. It is so important and imperative. So you can be focusing on deep breaths in and deep breaths out, or maybe you want to count your breaths. So I'm going 1, 2, deep breaths in, out, counting in your head, obviously, because the idea is to be quiet. Excuse me. Maybe you want to focus on an object. So you've probably heard of like the candle, focusing on a candle, the Himalayan salt. I don't know, maybe you got a flower, or maybe you've got a picture that you really like that you want to focus on. You can find a visual object of point of focus for you to be able to look on. The other one is focusing on a noise. So this is my favorite one. So this is one I'm kind of gonna elaborate on. So you wanna pick this noise method, and you wanna pick white noise preferably. So they have apps on your phone that you can find that play some kind of white noise. Some people like the tick-tock of a clock. Some people like waterfalls, rain, anything. There's a number of things that you can find white noise for. Sometimes it's just even that crackle. Like if you're very quiet right now, like for example, let's just be quiet and see what you hear. Okay, so for me, I'm hearing in my background, you guys obviously are going to hear something different. I'm hearing my fridge make a noise. I'm hearing the computer having a kind of a drone. I can hear some cars going in the background. So there's always some type of noise, whether it be so obvious like a car going by, or just that kind of like that noise, that restful noise that your house or your surroundings, wherever it is that you are, will make. So it doesn't have to be on an app. It can just be something that you're hearing. But whatever it is, find it. That empty space, a cat purring, the ticking of a clock, an air conditioner, or your furnace, or your fridge, or just any noise that you'd like. You pick it. You relax your body, and you focus on that noise only. When you notice, so if you're sitting there and you're concentrating just on that noise, I highly suggest closing your eyes, so it's only one of your senses that are working at that time. So you're closing your eyes and you're listening to this noise. Okay, so let's say I'm listening to my fridge right now. So I hear my fridge. Okay, so I'm probably going to get maybe about 10 seconds in, and then I'm going to start to have thoughts come to me, right? So don't panic, don't get concerned, don't get worried, don't be discouraged. Focus back. Okay, so a thought came in, I allowed it, and I've moved my thought, or lack thereof, back to the refrigerator sound. Sorry, just turning my phone on silent here, it's ringing. Okay, so, and then I'm going back to that thought. And then every time you catch yourself going to an alternative thought or being distracted or moving to something else, just keep bringing it back. And this is what I was talking about when it comes to that whole 15 minutes where maybe only for the last minute you've truly focused on just that sound and you haven't been distracted. Again, as I said, don't get discouraged. Even if you only spend that 1 minute in that zone, be proud and feel successful, because you've committed something to yourself. Another thing that I really I'm cognitive of, and I think really helps regardless of which way you choose to focus on, is relaxing your body. So obviously, like, you're feeling the tension stream from your body. We think to relax our arms, you're thinking to relax your legs, you're thinking to relax your chest and your stomach and your butt and your neck and your head. But the one area that we often forget, and I can clearly say that I was definitely forgetting this until I had it pointed out to me, is removing your tongue from the top of your mouth. Try it right now. You're sitting there and you don't actually realize how much tension is held kind of in that area, your neck, your tongue, and you think you're relaxed, and then you take that power of moving your tongue away from the top of the roof of your mouth or clenched teeth or anything like that, and just feel the relaxation that you feel. So go ahead and try it. Okay, so I wasn't doing it because I was talking, so I can't exactly have my tongue on the top of the roof of my mouth. But while you were sitting here listening to this, you probably were doing that. So feel how calm that feels. That's definitely something that helps release the tension and helps you get into the zone a little bit more. A little note on what you're choosing as your way of getting into the zone. So you got to find what feels right for you. So while the noise works for me, it's something that I find very easy to get in the zone with. I've tried the TikTok, and honestly, the TikTok just made me feel like punching someone in the face. It was so irritating to me. It was one of those noise. That's annoying to me, where somebody else might quite enjoy that. That might be soothing for them, and that's what their point of focus is going to be. Some people with the breathing, these deep breaths in, deep breaths out, and they're hyperventilating. So clearly that's not the route that you want to go for that. Sometimes the seeing, and definitely this was for me, the seeing. So I was focusing on my Himalayan salt lamp in my room, and some people will find they're distracted, and I don't know, fluff flies by, and now you're looking at the fluff. Or maybe you're outside and a fly starts buzzing by, and now you're focusing on the fly. You're getting distracted. But for me, I felt almost kind of like dizzy, I guess maybe is the word I would say. A little bit nauseous, a little bit sick to my stomach. It kind of gave me a little bit of a headache focusing in on that. It was hurting my eyes to do that. So for me, I found the best, obviously, the noise side. So find what feels right for you, experiment, try different things each time, and all of a sudden you're going to click and you're going to know that that's the route for you. That's the way, that's the zone getting into that's going to work for you. So that is kind of the Coles Notes version of how to meditate, with the intention of just clearing your mind and being able to receive thoughts from source at some point, either towards the end of your meditation or when you come out of it. All of a sudden these thoughts that maybe weren't occurring to you before are going to be coming in. So there are so many ways, as I mentioned, to have your meditation, guided meditations, meditations that you go into specifically looking for an answer. So before you sit down for these meditations, you've got a clear question that you have asked, and you're looking to have those those answers given to you specifically for that. But the reason I like the other one is because, all of them, they give your body, mind and soul a chance to calm and connect with source. But what I like about this one is it can deliver your thoughts that you need to hear to help you get along the path that's going to bring you closer to your true self. So sometimes when you go in with a preconceived question, great, you're going to get the answer, but sometimes it's easier. No, easier is not the word I want to use. So sometimes what's more important is getting what source needs you to hear at that time. So just because you think that's a question you need an answer to at this time, sometimes it's more important, no, not sometimes, it is more important to get an answer that's going to take you on the path of least resistance to where you need to go next, to what's going to get you to those things. And it's not something that you may have sat and thought of the way to ask that question or what to ask to get it. So just let it go for these types of things and say whatever I'm meant to hear or whatever thoughts I'm meant to receive, whatever's going to take me to my my path of least resistance, to take me to the greatest version of myself so that I can have my greatest life, is the path that I'm wanting to go at this time. So just drop it all and just be free and open to whatever's going to come to your mind. So today's daily challenge is naturally set to do with this meditation, obviously, and it is your commitment to setting aside some time each and every day this week to be peaceful, to get in that place of calmness and figure out when you're going to do it. Try different things, what works out best for you. Remember, morning time is the most ideal. And then to extend that, why don't we write down what it is? Jot down so quickly, and that doesn't take a long time, to jot down anything that comes to you directly after or towards the end of your meditation that felt good. Because remember, a thought that feels good is from your inner being, from source, from the universe, whatever you'd like to call it. It is from that. And those are the things that are helping you move towards. So anything that felt good, that came to mind or you thought of after, write it down, jot it down. It's there for a reason, and maybe you're going to go back and pick it apart a little bit or let it happen, or maybe it's leading you into what you're going to do that day that's going to lead you into the path of something else, and then lead you into that path and lead you into that path, or connect you with this person or take you to that experience. So if you get out of meditation and your first thought is, I want to go to the bookstore, go to the bookstore. There's a reason you're thinking that. Obviously, as long as you're feeling good. If it's not a good thought and it didn't feel good when you thought that, that's from your ego. Let that go. But if you feel like you're not quite sure, you don't understand, why would I be needing to go to the bookstore right now? That's totally not what I had planned today. You gotta go. There's some kind of connection, even if it's just an enjoyable experience. Maybe it's to just go and connect you to a book that you want to have. It's not something part of your bigger picture of, today's gonna be the day that I connect with my soulmate in the bookstore, right? Maybe it's just something leading you into a good experience, because as I always say, life is to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be fun. So maybe it's just a fun experience, something good, something happy in your life that you're going to be able to hold here. Just follow it, whatever it is. Even if it seems irrelevant, please follow it. It is leading you to something better, something that's going to bring you some clarity into your life. So on my end, for the daily challenge, I obviously, as I mentioned, I do my stuff usually ahead of time so that I have something to tell you. So this video is coming obviously from people that have been asking me about it, but it was something that came to me directly out of a meditation this week that I said, you need to do a video on this. And I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to approach it, whether I wanted to do an actual demonstration where I sat and more like a guided meditation, or to do with how I've presented it today. And that part came to me in my next day's meditation of how I wanted to present it, because it was being shown and quite clear through my own experiences and through what I'm hearing is that people are feeling so busy and not really sure how to do it, but then how the realistic side of it, how you incorporate that into your life. So that's how I met the daily challenge this whole week, and why you're hearing me talk about this. Everything is connected, guys. Like, not one thing that happens in your life is by accident. There are no coincidences. Everything is in your experience for a reason, to lead you to something better, just for you to enjoy, whatever it may be. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe. If you hit the bell notification in the bottom corner, you will be sure not to miss any of these videos that I do truly have so much fun doing. It feels like in my zone to be doing these things for everybody, and even if it only affects one person, it only connects to one person, and it helps them recognize something that they want to bring into their experience. I feel like it's done what I wanted it to do. It's given value to somebody. If you would like to email me with more questions, I'm loving having these back and forth things and hearing from everybody, telling me about their, how they've connected to the daily challenges, what resonated with them in a video, or something that they have a question about, or a video that they'd like to see. I truly enjoy that, so please keep those coming in. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. The link will be in the comments, and I'll probably see if I can try to put it into this video somewhere. You follow me there. I do post twice daily, and my goal, as I always say, is I am trying to give information for you to take it out of there, to experience it, so that you can live your greatest life by becoming your greatest version of yourself. This is Pamela with Whole and Complete You, sending you lots and lots and lots of kind, loving, and peaceful energy. I'm sending you extra calm energy as you try to explore your connection with your higher self and getting into that zone while you are meditating. This week's food topic, and I'm telling you to go grab a handful of strawberries that are preferably, and I really, really, really am pushing and urging you, for your berries especially, to be organic. Strawberries especially, are coated and loaded with those pesticides, and you do not want that stuff in your body, especially if you're trying to connect with, source, and make amazing things happen in your life and raise your vibration. You don't want any of that crap in your body, so go organic for your strawberries especially. Strawberries, what can I tell you about them? They are loaded with antioxidants that help improve your immune system functions. So an immune system that is healthy and strong means you're not going to be getting sick as often, which means you're going to be able to connect to all of your true life missions and all the things that you are here for, and you're going to be able to feel great while you're doing that all. They protect against cancer, and they help regulate blood sugar levels. They actually are one of the berries that are a little bit lower in sugar. So if you are on a sugar-reduced type diet, whether it be from diabetes, or you're doing some kind of detox, or you get candida often, this is definitely one of those berries where in smaller quantities you can do that. And I actually didn't mean berries, I actually meant fruit is what I meant to say, because fruit is often off your list when you're trying to reduce your sugar. So those lemon, limes, and berries usually they say is okay. So your strawberries, you can have smaller amounts if you're trying to reduce your sugar. And if you don't need to reduce your sugar, your naturally occurring sugar levels, then just take on those berries and keep eating them. The strawberries are fantastic. As 1 cup of strawberries has 160% of your vitamin C requirements for a day. And they can actually reduce bloating. So yay, nobody wants to be bloated, right? You all want to look fantastic and feel fantastic. That's even more important, is how you feel each and every day. So say goodbye to your bloating, right? Have a beautiful and blessed day. Much love to you. You got this week, guys.